Welcome to Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. My name is Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul. A couple of days ago, we were with dear friends here in Rochester enjoying a Danish dish called Evelskiver. The meal was so delicious. However, nourishing us as well was the amazing conversation we shared around the table. Near the end of this smorgasbord of topics we discussed, Nancy asked each of us to respond to the question: how do you maintain good mental health during the difficult and scary time that we live in? That's a wonderful question that it would behoove us all to ask ourselves from time to time. It was an important thing to ponder and then to put voice to as we shared with each other. So ask yourself and those around you at Nancy's question: what do you do to keep healthy mentally during these days of uncertainty and often fear, anger, and being overwhelmed by the news? I'm reminded of last week's podcast when I asked you to think about things or people in your life that you do not want to take for granted and how that is akin to being intentionally grateful. My answer to Nancy's question was just that. I try to make the habit of being grateful as much as I can. That keeps my spirit buoyant and positive. The Greek philosopher Epictetus wrote, "You become what you give your attention to," which brings me to my next thought. It's hard to read or listen to the news without hearing reports of anger caused by stinging responses to what has been said or done by some, lashing out in threats and insults. Epictetus's words echo for us: "You become what you give your attention to." So why? Why is anger and resentment given so much attention and is so pervasive? Perhaps because it is easier to hold on to the perceived wrong done than to let it go. Several weeks ago, we were with other friends and had a deep conversation about some of the things we hold on to. In that case, the things were the perceived wrongs we had done to others. After we had discussed for a while, I said, I think we are forgetting to use the F word." Immediately, both our friends replied, "Oh, we don't use that word." I smiled and said, "You might be thinking about the wrong F word. The F word I'm thinking about is forgiveness." Two things happened. We laughed and the moment lightened, and because of the shock to use the F word, our amygdala, the part of our brain that registers shock, or flight, and emotion, went into gear and hopefully sent a message to the prefrontal cortex of our brain to hold on to this because we want to remember to use the F word to make forgiveness a habit. Revenge and forgiveness. Which is easier? I think the answer might lie behind Epictetus's words. We become what we give our attention to. If we think of the wrongs done to us and become obsessed with revenge over those perceived wrongs, we will find it easier and easier to fall into the mire of hate and resentment. But if we give our attention to forgiving those we have perceived to have done us wrong, we will find it easier and easier to let go of the ill will and acquire acceptance of things we cannot change. Letting go and accepting doesn't mean what has been done or happened was right. It means we do not let those things control us, our thoughts and our attitudes. Remember that wonderful line: in matters of forgiveness, there is always a prisoner, the one needing forgiveness or the one withholding it. Do you want to be the prisoner of someone you perceive has wronged you? If you do that, mm, they control you. As you know, my favorite show is Ted Lasso. There's a wonderful scene near the end of season one when Ted's boss, Rebecca, finally admits that she hired him out of spite aimed at her ex husband. She wanted to revenge for her ex husband's unfaithfulness to her, so she hired Ted, a goofy, positive football coach, to coach the soccer team she and her ex had owned and which she now owned through the divorce settlement. During the short time as the soccer coach, Ted had become beloved through his unconditional positive regard for everyone and what they were about. He even won over Rebecca. In the scene, Rebecca comes into Ted's office and tells him she lied to him, that she hired him because she wanted the team to lose and Ted to fail, because she wanted to destroy the club that her ex cared so much about. so she could cause him the pain and suffering he caused her. She said, "Ted, I'm so sorry." Ted looked at her without speaking, thought a minute, got up, walked to her, and said, "I forgive you." Then he said, "If you care about someone and have a little love in your heart, there isn't anything you can't get through." Hmm. Powerful scene, powerful message for all of us. Forgiveness, focus on it instead of revenge, and focus on love instead of hate. When you do that, you will find joy. And joy is your greatest resistance because it drives out the power of darkness. This week, on your bathroom mirror, write, "I will give my attention to forgiving others and loving others because then there is nothing I can't get through." Join me next Monday for Live, Life Inspired Views for Every Day. I'm Chris Meyer, and I'm a curious soul.